this is Diane, the Be a Blessing Stitcher, and this is Flosstube number 7. And if you're new to my channel, welcome first of all. But this is a channel basically about cross stitch with just a little bit of fabric stash collecting and some quilting, sewing thrown in on the side just a little bit. If you're returning, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you so much for continuing to follow me. I know I'm about a week late. I was planning on videotaping last week and I was a little bit under the weather, didn't feel very good. So I just decided it would be wiser to just wait and do it when I'm feeling a little bit more like myself. So I'm glad you're all here again. Thank you again for coming to join me for a little chat. I hope you have something good to drink. I do. My iced coffee, I hardly go anywhere without it. And pull up a chair, grab your stitching and sit for a little bit, and I'll share with you what I've been working on for the last little while. First of all, I think I'll start with some of my finishes. I had several new starts and finishes, kind of both. So I'll do new starts after this, but I'm going to show you the new starts and finishes that I have for right now. The first one you guys have seen before, and it's my Sunflower by Rovaris. It is, see if I can hold this up in the right direction. It's this pattern right here. This was a pattern I found on Etsy. And I've got my fan going. That's probably not a good idea. And I had this one done, but I didn't really care for the brown that I had used in it. The brown was a bit purpley and a little washed out. And so I had contacted Coulor and Cotton and asked them to send me a couple of options. And I had another order coming anyway. So they sent me one called Caramel Brownie, I think it was. So I pulled out all the brown that I had done and I restitched it with Caramel Brownie. And I think I do like it better. It gives it a much deeper, kind of a, I think a little warmer feel than what the other color had. So I do really love this one. And I'm planning to get that one finished before my next video, so hopefully I will have something. Actually, I'm hoping to finish it this weekend so I can get it setting out with the rest of my fall decor. So that's my Sunflower one. And then I started two smalls by somebody who was new to me. She was also on Etsy. Her name is Shelly, A-U-E-N. I don't know how you say that. Her company is called Primitive Stitchin' with an N and not a G. And the first one I did was called Bountiful Harvest. And it was this picture. It's got a very prim type of a feel to it. And I did change up all the colors. I'm starting to stitch from my stash just a little bit more. So I did change it a little, but I really do like how it turned out. Here's my finish. And this one was a bugger. I used, first of all, I couldn't make up my mind about colors, so I think I stitched that tree about 3 times before I settled on something. I tried stitching it 1/1, didn't like the color, didn't like the coverage, stitched it 2/1, didn't like the coverage, didn't like the color, started over with a different color 1/1. And I wish I could tell you what size and fabric this is, but this was a mystery fabric that I picked up off of one of the stash sites off of Facebook. She did not know what it was either, but you guys, what a nightmare. There were a couple of places in this stuff where the linen, like one of the threads just like disappeared and it would kind of do a weaving kind of thing like that. It was hard to stitch on. So that one caused me a little bit of grief. This one, not so much, but I did kind of its sister one, which is called Indian Corn Alphabet Pillow. And it's got, again, by the same author, by the same designer, and it's got the same kind of a prim feel. So I did that one also with the same colors. And this one, because it had the alphabet on top, it was right where the S was, where my fabric got wonky. And I counted, and I threw it down one night, and I walked away, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna give up. And I came back to it, and I ripped it out, and I eventually got it. I got it to where I'm happy with how it looks. But this was very uneven linen, and so my stitches all looked like they were a different size. So, but these are going to be super cute once I get them finished into a pillow and put in one of my displays. I'm really excited to do that. So these two plus that sunflower one I'm hoping to get finished this weekend so that I can get it set out in my decor. Okay, that was 2. Those are my only finishes. I should have more, I know, for you after 3 weeks, but that was all I got done. But I did start a bunch of things. 2 of the new starts were those littles, those smalls. And then where to begin? I started I Love Fall Most of All by Brenda Gervais. And I really, really loved this pattern. I think I've shown it to you before. And I had to buy the whole tray and the little pumpkins and everything in order to get the pattern. It was on her site, Country Stitches Online. Sometimes you can get just the pattern, but I ended up buying, as you can see, that whole tray and everything and the little pumpkins that came with it. Now, if you look closely, that bird has some specialty stitches in it, and I did not do those, mostly because I changed the pattern. Silly me. I mean, why? Who am I? Yeah, this is becoming a pattern. It didn't quite fit on the shelf sitter that I have from Paisley and Polka Dots. And no matter what size I went to, it was too square, and I needed it to be a little bit more of a rectangle shape. So I altered the pattern, and I just kind of moved things down and moved them around a little bit until I got it to a place where I thought it would fit quite well. So we'll see. Oh, I also changed the pumpkin. Instead of that light pumpkin color, that really light, I changed mine to white. So this is what I have done so far. I'm actually quite a long ways. I've got a little bit more of the white pumpkin to do here yet. He's been a lot of work. That was actually a tad boring. All the white. But now it's fun. I'm doing the acorns here, the flowers. I've got a bunch more vines. Excuse me. So that one's been a lot of fun. So I'm anxious to get that one finished. And of course, I know exactly where that one's going to go. So that was one start. I started that one on, I tried to write everything down so I could be more organized. I think that fan is getting me. I think I might have to shut that off. Hang on a second. Sorry about that, guys. Hopefully this will be a little bit better. So I was talking about I Love Fall Most of All, and I'm stitching that on Weeks 32 count tin roof, and it's got a very open weave to it, but I'm liking it. I love the color. It's a very, very pretty, it's prim. I'm kind of leaning lately heavily towards prim, but it has a very prim feel to it. So that's my I Love Fall Most of All. I started that one on September 9. So we'll see how long that one takes me. I've been jumping around a lot, kind of squirreling big time lately. And so that was one start. And then my stitching friends reminded me that I had decided I was going to start Lady of the Flag on September 11. There's not really a better day, is there, to start it than on September 11? And I work 3.5 days a week, so I didn't have a lot of time that day to actually stitch, but I did start it, and I'm proud of the fact that I got it started. So here's my Lady of the Flag. Love her so much, cannot wait to have her completed. I know it's gonna be a while, and that's okay. I'm enjoying it. She's actually been, for the little bit I've done, she's been really fun. I'm enjoying it so much. And I chose to do it in the Constitution fabric by Fabric Flair. I got this from, I said this, I murdered this last time. Stitchery X-Press, X-Press, Stitchery Express. So here's my fabric. You can see it's long. And there's my little start in the middle there. My little tiny start, that's just in her dress a little bit. I had to start this one in the middle. I wanted to make sure that I got the letters and words and everything centered. I usually start top left, so it felt a little funny to start in the middle, but like I said, I really wanted to make sure I got it centered correctly. So what I actually did was I didn't just fold the fabric, I checked the stitching, I checked the words, and I folded it word to word, top and bottom, because I wasn't sure if there was as much room on the top of the fabric here as there was on the bottom. I think that it's pretty close, but I just wanted to double check and make sure. So I stitched it printed words to printed words and made sure that I had the center of that. So that one is gonna take a while, but that one's a lot of fun. I did kit it up with all the called for colors. I'm doing it just in DMC. And I did purchase all the beads and everything for it too. So we'll see. I think I have them all here. I'm not real sure. I did purchase all of the floss, and I got such a humongous order from 123 Stitch that I had to put them away first in order to even figure out where I was. So I put them all into my bin, which has everything numbered. Then I went back and I pulled the ones that were just specifically for this one. So I think I've got them correct, but I might be missing a few here and there, but I think I've got them all in there. So that one's, I'm looking forward to working on that one. Okay, and then my other crazy start this month, I did this one, actually, you know what, I started this one on my husband's birthday, which was August 30. So it was actually since my last video, but not really in September. And this one is my Heaven and Earth design called Our Friends by Terry Redlin. I just absolutely love this picture so much. And I'm anxious to see how this translates into stitching. So I have just the smallest of starts because I did the same thing with this one. I started it twice. I'm doing it on 25 count, even weave, and it's gridded. I thought for my very first one I better do gridded. But I wasn't quite sure if I should stitch 1/1 full cross or if I should stitch 2/1 tent. And so I started at 1/1 full cross, and I did about 500 stitches, and I could see through my dark colors a little too much. I just didn't like it, and I had a feeling when I was all done that the colors weren't going to be as vibrant as I wanted. So I pulled that all out and I started over, and now I'm doing it actually 3/1 tent stitch. So that's giving me some really great coverage. I am really liking, I've got a couple of blank spots in there, some confetti there that I haven't completed yet, but I'm getting a nice consistent coverage on it. So this also, I'm surprised. This is fun. And I don't know if that's just because it's a new challenge, which I do like. I like to challenge myself, or if it's just they're all fun. I don't know, since it's my first, but so far it's been a lot of fun. Same with the Mirabilia. That's my first Mirabilia that I've ever done, and I'm really, really loving it so far. Okay, so those are really the only things that I have stitched on the last few weeks. I really wanted to stitch on a sampler. I kind of intended to stitch on a sampler. Just haven't gotten to it yet. But I do intend to pick up my it's called Bouquet of Sunshine, Bouquet of Sunshine, that I started and I've shown you before, but I do plan to tackle this one again and get going and start moving along on this one a little bit, because I like this one a lot too. I really like this one, and this one falls into my sampler September. So I do plan to work on this one next, although it's kind of hard because I'm having fun with all of them. So it's hard to know which one to actually do, because I want to do them all. I just want to do all the things lately, all the things. So that's one of my plans. Did I go into any other new starts? I did. Getting off my schedule already here. And then you guys already know about my next new start, but this one also falls into Sampler September. And I'm going to be doing with Alana from Mrs. Smith Stitches. I'm doing Mighty Acorn, which is this one right here. But I'm doing mine all with a color and cotton conversion. I had Color and Cotton help me pick out some colors, and we're gonna do a blue house or a dark gray house actually, instead of that goldish greenish color that the house currently is. Handmade by Sarah W. did hers. She used Weeks Dolphin color on the house. It's just beautiful. Love it so much. And actually I showed it to Alana, and she is also gonna do the same thing. You know what? It's not Alana, it's Elena. I listened to her pronounce her name last time, and it's Elena. I gotta get that correct. So I think she's gonna do a blue house too. So if anybody wants to join us, let us know. Tag us. We haven't got a hashtag or anything yet. We'll have to talk about that, but we're starting this one on her birthday, which is, I think it's September 18, I believe. I'll have to look at my notes. Do I have that one written down? That would be amazing if I actually had that written down. I don't think I see it. Flips and new starts. No, no, no. Oh yes, on the 18th. Wow, I wrote it down. Shocking. So yeah, on the 18th, we're going to tackle that one together, get a start on it. I think that's such a pretty sampler. I think that's really pretty. So anyway, looking forward to that one, especially since it's going to be with Color and Cotton. I've started using that a little bit more. I got into the Prim color, the Prim floss pack also. So now I'm getting the 10 count all colors, and I'm also getting a 5-pack every month of the Prim. But I've kind of stopped all of my other subscriptions. It was just getting a little too overwhelming for me, and I think with Weeks and Colorworks, Classic Colorworks, I would just as soon purchase those as needed. I don't feel a need to have all of those on hand. So anyway, I'm excited about that start. And then this kind of goes along with my haul, but this is something you know what, I'm not gonna show it to you because I don't think I'm gonna get this one started this month, not with everything else I have going. The last thing that I really wanna get going yet this month is the Fall Harvest Tiny Town. I really like it. I don't know if I love the colors. So I might be doing some changing up of things a little bit, but I don't know exactly what yet. So we'll see. You know, when things need to be adjusted, it slows me down in starting them because it can take me a while. You know, you grab your fabric and then you start throwing floss on it to see what you like and what you don't like. And then even as you're stitching, you might put something in and go, that's really not working. So they take longer when you do it that way. But like I said, I like to challenge myself, and I'm finding it a lot of fun to play around with the colors a little bit. So I'm hoping to get to that one. That reminds me, I was going to ask you guys what you think of the color that I have going for the stem of my pumpkin. It's that light brown color right in the middle. I don't have a ton of it done yet, but it's very close to the color of the fabric. And this comes up, and I think it goes around in curls. And that's all there is of that one. I'm just wondering what you think. Should I swap that out for something a little darker, or should I keep that color? I thought that I had found the perfect color when I picked that one out until I started stitching with it, and then I went, that might be too similar. It does show up. Looks kind of like a shadow. So let me know what you guys think on that one, okay? I would really, really appreciate your advice on that one. Okay, then the couple of other things I wanted to talk about were, I got my box from Alicia, the Fanciful Flamingo. She did a brand, I got itchy nose, Flosstube nose. She did her very first My Favorite Things box. that you could purchase. The initial one, you had to respond to an email that she sent you. If you had expressed interest in it early on before she put them together, then you got on a list and she sent you an email that you could purchase it from. I think we got first chance or first crack at them. So I did, of course I did. Of course I did. Pardon my dog. So anyway, I got my box and it's just so cool. First of all, I love the little things, but she put this little flamingo paper clip on here. How cute is that? How cute is that? I just love it. I think that's so, so cute. And so it's just kind of a little forewarning of what you're gonna get with her. She curated a lot of different things from other designers. There was an original design in here. And this one is, oh, I didn't realize this was even in here. She's got a little flamingo chart. Oh, how adorable. And I can't show it to you. Oh, maybe I can. She's got this little tiny flamingo chart in there. Oh, that's gonna blur. I don't know if I can get him to focus. Come on, fella. Focus. There. There we go. That's so cute with the little glasses. I didn't even know that was in here until just now. So we did get an original pattern. This one's from KEB Studio Creations, and it's just a little shaker style fall pumpkin-ish pattern that I think is just adorable. I don't really have anything shaker style, so I'm really excited to do that. And then on the back, she has like a little finishing tutorial and everything to help you if you want to do it similar to what's pictured on here. Okay, and then what came in there was this really cool thread keep, also with a flamingo on it, but a thread keep to do that pattern in. Oh, I think that's so unique, so very unique. We got finishing fabric, a nice generous piece of this beautiful checked harvest color. And we got the floss for it. I think it's all DMC, yep, all DMC. And then we got the tiniest little hoop. That's one of those little spring tension mounted hoops. I don't have any of these, so silly, but I'm excited to have a little spring mounted tension hoop. And we got quite a few little stickers, a little tag, some stickers. Here's a butterfly. Mine are kind of falling out all over the place. And some Jolly Ranchers, because I think that's her signature. She sent some Jolly Ranchers. And then last but not least, we got these beautiful little pumpkin counting pins that I think she herself made. I know she does do some of this. And it's got my favorite things. It doesn't have any other identification as to who might have made it. So I really think she made these herself. And they are so pretty. They're like little pumpkins. Oh, I love them. I cannot wait to put those on my little pillows that I'm stitching right now. I know they're probably supposed to go on the one she gave us, but we'll see. I don't know if I'm going to get that one stitched in time this year, so this way I can at least still use the little counting pins. And then just, like I said, some Jolly Ranchers. Love Jolly Ranchers, right? You gotta love a Jolly Rancher. Okay, so that's what was in her box this time. And then she also gave a name of where all of the things came from. I'm just looking to see. Counting pins. She made the counting pins, but she listed all the different shops where she got her extra curated items from. So that was so, so fun to get in the mail. And it was also really hard not to show it to you guys sooner, but I didn't want to spoil the surprise for anybody. And so I had to wait because I think I had gotten it right about the same time that I did my last Flosstube, but I didn't want to spoil the surprise for anyone. Okay, then, now I think I lost one of the things I was holding. Nope, here it is. I had purchased a die from Pashta Designs, which is like a felt company that has different dyes that they make for cutting out felt items. But at the request of Nicole Spohr, I think she had created a dye for making floss drops. And I used it a few times and I really struggled with it. I struggled with finding the right thickness to go through my die cutting machine. It was really warping my plates badly, and I'm sure that was user error. I'm sure it wasn't her fault, but I was finding it to be frustrating and not productive. So I was watching Stitchy Friends and with Jen and Sarah, and Sarah had referenced that she made her floss drops just from tags that she had gotten off of Amazon. And the tags look like this. They're just a simple, basic little tag. And so I came in with my hole punches, and I might do this differently yet. I don't know. I did the first 100. I really need something to put behind that, don't I? Let's put this behind it. I went in and I punched out a hole. This is a 1-inch hole punch. I do have a 3/4 inch coming because I felt like this was a little bit big, and I don't want to weaken it at all too much. And then I punched another little hole for my extra floss. If I make this smaller, I might have room on the side to do this extra hole, but again, I don't want to weaken this area too much. I want to keep it sturdy, but they're really quite thick. I mean, they really don't have a ton of bend to them. So I think this is going to be a great idea. And so I'm going to give away my, to a friend. I have somebody that would like that little die that Pashta made because I don't think I'm going to use it anymore. So I'm really in love with these. I think I'm going to be putting a lot of my DMC on these and then hanging them from a rod that I have in my closet. I do have drawers also that I use for my DMC, and it just stores my extra ones. You know, when you have a lot of things kitted up, you end up with multiples of everything because I like to have all of my floss in each kit. I don't want to go digging through my kits looking for a certain color or anything like that. So I will end up with extras. And so I do have some drawers that I can put my extras, and they're all numbered, so I can put my extra DMC in there as well. But I'm going to keep my master copy of all of them, I think, on rings on a dowel in my closet. And so super excited about these. I really, really am happy with them. Oh, and they came in a package of 600. You get 600 of them. So this is 100 of them right here. And they were like $12 for 600 of them. So they'll go a long ways, really a long ways. The reason I kind of jumped on it was with my Hade, my Heaven and Earth design that I'm working on, so many colors that I needed a way to corral them, you know, because my DMC is just all in the skeins yet. And trying to sort through those when I need a certain color, I've got to get a system going so that I can find the colors when I need them. Also, even just my Mirabilia Lady of the Flag has a lot of different floss in that one as well. So I just needed a system for my DMC that would work for me for being able to keep the things that are in my kits kind of organized a little bit. So that's what I'm doing for those right now. And I will put a link in the description box that will show you where to get those from. But this is the punch that I was using. I think I just got this from Hobby Lobby. This is the 1-inch. I did just order a 3/4 inch from Amazon, and if you want me to, I can put the link in for that, but I haven't tried it out yet. So I hate to link anything that I can't say that I've used, and I don't know how well it works. So maybe the next time I'll put that one in there. And then I just have a regular old paper punch for the other hole. It's just got a regular sized head on it. So those are, I keep those close by now when I'm stitching because I don't want to take the time out to put all of the floss on those little packs. And so I kind of do them as needed. And yeah, it would just take me a day or more to put everything on those floss drops. And I don't want to do that. I want to stitch, right? We want to stitch. So I'm just keeping the punches next to me so that I can just do them as needed as I do my different projects. Okay. trying to think if there's something else that I should tell you about. I will show you that one in my haul. There's one other thing that I got. I got this because of Tiger Lily, Kari's Tiger Lily. I purchased her pattern to make the project keepers, the big ones. I haven't bought the little one yet, although I do really want to. And she used something for her binding that was so amazing and so cool. That just reminded me, I've got something else somewhere too that I want to show you. It's this bias binder maker that heats up and it makes your binding for you. It comes with different size tips. So these are the tips that you use. It's kind of something that you can find on the secondary market, but it might be hard to find anywhere else because it's an older product. But basically, it's just this little thing here, and you plug it in, and this plate gets really hot. And then this goes over the top of it, and you put your tip in here, whatever size you want. You've already got your strip cut, but you feed your fabric in here and you run it through and it comes out pre-ironed and folded, which is amazing and just a huge time saver. So you don't have to sit there ironing one way and another way and a third way. So it comes out all in one. And so I've got the 3/4 inch, and I really am not sure yet which size I need most. I've got the 1 inch, I've got a 1/2 inch, and I think I've got a big daddy, 1 1/4. So for making project keepers or quilting, anything, I think this will be really, really helpful. So I'm kind of excited to take this one for a test run. I haven't had a chance to yet, but this one is Tiger Lily's fault. Can I just start assigning blame to people as we go? But when I saw her using that, I'm like, ooh, that looks like a great little tool. I think I want to try that. Okay, so I think I'm going to jump into something I'm dying to show you anyway. It's haul. First of all, I got this beautiful project bag. It's a beautiful fall colored project bag. This one came from Wild Berry Stitching on Etsy, and I will link her Etsy shop below in the description box. Comes with this cute little leaf for fall on there. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I love the colors on that. I could not resist that one. Plus, I feel like with all the new things I'm starting, I need more project bags. Should really make them. Should really make them. Okay, so the thing I've been kind of itching to show you guys is this new fabric that I got from Fabric Flair. I had seen this done in a picture, had a hard time finding it back again later when I wanted to, but it was Princess Eliana, a Mirabilia pattern. It's this one. And now that I have the fabric, of course I want to start it. This is Princess Eliana. She's got tons and tons of beading, but I just loved all of the colors. It was so playful. And I'm not usually a bright colored person, but it was just so playful and fun and different from what I've stitched before that I wanted to give it a try. And I had seen it done on this Fabric Flair material, and I couldn't find it. I tried looking everywhere. I tried Stitchery Express. I went directly to the Fabric Flair website, nothing. I did finally figure out the name of it. It was called Falling Flowers. And so I found on the Fabric Flair site that I could contact them. So I sent them an email and I tried to explain it as best I could because I couldn't find a picture back. And I knew it was called Falling Flowers. And he texted me, he or she, I'm not sure, texted me back and said, I am not familiar with that one. And he also said he wasn't familiar with Princess Eliana. So I searched and searched and searched, and I finally found a picture of it. And I will insert a picture of her stitched on this fabric. But it's called Falling Flowers, and it's the most unusual fabric. How far back do I have to go? I'm gonna go way back here because it looks just like splotches here. But if you get close up, you can see that they're flowers. They're just all pink. I love my pink. They're all flowers. So I am so excited to start this one, but I'm trying to rein myself in because Christmas is coming up. I don't even have all of my fall stuff done. So I'm trying to make myself behave and leave this one alone. This will be a really fun thing to look forward to as I get closer to winter, you know, when everything's a little bit dark and gloomy, and then I have something really bright and cheerful with lots of color that I can have to look forward to stitching. So that one's so exciting. That one just came yesterday, so excited about that one. Okay, let me get my piles rearranged. And then I've got, of course, a little bit more fabric. I was a member of the fabric club with Stitch Me and with Grace Notes Fabrics, and I canceled both of those just to try something new, and I got in with Gay Ron Stitchery. They have an Atomic Ranch fabric club, and I got into the 36 count. I think I really would prefer the 40, but I wanted to get in, so I took the 36 count, and I plan to, if there's an opening for 40, I'll probably cancel my 36 count once I'm able to get in on that one. And I did get fabric from him, but let's see if I can find it. I've got all my new fabric kind of in a pile here. Let me see if I can find my Atomic Ranch. Here we go. This one was called Pampas Reed, and it's just a really beautiful, let's see if I can get you a color. Blowing out. Blowing out. There. In the shadows. That's a little bit better. It's just a really nice light tan. Almost has a little bit of a honey golden color to it. Not really coming across very clearly on there. So this was my first experience with it, and so far I love it. I really, really like it. I've heard so many good things about their fabrics that I was itching to try it. I don't know about you guys, but do you have that when you hear somebody talk about XGU fabric or Cedar River linen or Fabrics by Stephanie, that you just like, oh, I don't have any of that, I need some. I have that so bad, and that's why I have such a huge fabric stash, because when I see it like on the stash sites, I'm like, oh, I need to jump on that. So that leads me into my next haul. Now this was one of my last ones that came from Stitch Me. This one is 36 count linen. And the color, does she have? Oh, it's called Lunar. And it's really almost a purpley gray. Very beautifully modeled. I do love her modeling. And we'll see if I like, because this one that came from Atomic Ranch doesn't have near as much modeling. So we'll see if I stay with that one too, because she really does have some really pretty colors in there. So that one was from Stitch Me. I'm getting confused already. This was a piece of Cedar River linen that it came off of the stash site. This one is 46 count. I don't have much in 46 count. So I wanted to get a piece of this. This one is called Overcast, and that's pretty close to what it is. It's a real brown beige color. See if another side will show it any better. That's pretty close. It doesn't have a ton of modeling either, but that is kind of my go-to. I do like my fabrics to be kind of demure and very understated, although there are times like my fabric flare when something bold really is appropriate. So that one was by Cedar River Linen, and I'm super excited to get that one. And then I have trying to figure out exactly what I do have. This one is also from the stash. This is Picture This Plus Oaken. And I've heard so many people talk about Oaken. And look at that modeling. Now that's throwing a little bit of green in there, but it's not green at all. There's really no green at all in there. It's just all very brown. But a beautiful, beautiful color brown. So, oh, I love that one so much. And then I have Ale. This one is in a 36 count in a linen as well. And it's also just a little bit of a darker brown, though this one does have a slight green sheen to it. Reminds me a little bit of Saltbush by Fox and Rabbit. It's got just a slight green tinge to it, but still very much of a, actually when I look at it now, it almost has a little bit of a clay undertone to it as well. It's darker, it's a much darker brown, but I think that will be so pretty, a background somewhere on something. And then I think I've just got a couple more. These all came from the Dstash site, you guys. This one is called Sand Dune. It is 32 count. But it doesn't say who it's from. I don't think I know who the maker of it is. It's called Sand Dune. But another really pretty brown. They all have kind of a similar look. I'm surprised this one doesn't have, I'll have to maybe go back to look at my my invoice to see if I can figure out what this is, like who made this one, because I'm not really sure. I don't think I would have purchased it if I hadn't known who it came from, but you never know about me. And the last one, same thing, it's Dirt Track. I really feel like this is Fox and Rabbit. This is Dirt Track. This one's got quite a bit of modeling in it. And it's really quite true to color. It's a little more brown, a little less gray than what's showing up, but there is some gray through that one as well. So, and this one is 28 count? Did I get a 28 count? That's not like me. I did. I think I did. Okay, that's it for my fabric. Then, what shall we show you next? I picked up something really cool off of Facebook Marketplace. When I knew that I was going to be starting my Heaven and Earth design, I wanted to figure out how to have how to hoop it, how to stitch it, how would be the best way to stitch it. And there was a gal on Facebook Marketplace who was getting rid of her frame. It was called a Barnett. I don't know if any of you have heard of a Barnett, but it's a Barnett wooden stand, like a floor stand, and then it came with some accessories too. So I think what I'm gonna do is just take the camera around and show you guys what it looks like. This is the floor stand. See if I can get far enough away from it so that you can see the whole floor stand. And it adjusts up and down. It doesn't really change its angle from the floor stand. However, what it does do, see if I can get you more on there, is it changes pieces. So let's see if I can remember how this goes even. So it comes with this piece, which is a lap one. And this piece is magnetized and it comes off hard. I'm gonna have to scooch closer to get him off of there. But as you can see, this moves and adjusts. Doesn't go this way, but it does go up and down. It turns. And then this is the hoop part of it. It's all attached. But this part comes off. And this is magnetized like that. So then you have just this hoop part. And this sits on your lap. And he attaches to that. So now you have a lap one. And then there's also one more piece, which is this one, which you can sit on. You can just put this one between your legs and you can attach it to the top of that as well. So it came with quite a few different pieces. I haven't used it a ton yet, but I'm liking it when I do use it. It's been, Let me change it back over here to me. It's been, especially the lap one has been really, really comfortable. Okay, I give up. We're just gonna put him over there. So I've been using it, and I've actually even been setting my smaller hoop stand inside of it because I have a hard time getting that hoop stand to not tip. It almost needs like a flat surface, and so that base really holds everything kind of together there for me. So really, really I'm liking that. Let me see if I can get myself back centered again here. Okay, so that was fun. And the lady that I bought it from was so sweet. She said she used to do a lot more quilting, and she even did cross stitch and stitching, but as she's gotten older, she said she just finds that she doesn't do a lot of that fine stitching anymore. Her eyes just don't accommodate that. It's too hard on her. And her fingers too, it's getting more difficult. So I keep thinking about when that happens to me, and I'm hoping that I can surely bring somebody joy when I start to downsize and get rid of my stuff as well. But I did Google it, I looked it up. It's a very high-end frame. I did that before I purchased it. I always do that. I always try to find reviews on things when I'm purchasing something from Marketplace, just to make sure there aren't bad reviews on it, that it's not problematic, things like that. So I'm really, really so happy with that. Okay, let's get into my patterns. I purchased another kit from the Gold Collection Dimensions. This one's called Winter's Hush. Let's see if I can get rid of that. I can't get rid of the glare. Maybe I'll put in a picture here that shows it a little bit better. I've been wanting this one for quite a while. I'm slowing down on my kits because I'm starting to realize I'm never going to stitch these all. But I'm so still drawn to houses. But the lady that was selling it was also stitching it. She had ended up with 2 of them, and she doesn't use the floss that came with it. She uses her own floss. So she gave me all her extra floss. It is a rat's nest, but she gave me extra of all the floss that's in the kit. She's like, do you want it? And I'm like, sure. You know, I don't know if I'll need it, but just in case, I thought it can't hurt to have the extra bundle of floss with it. So that one is fun. I'm not going to start that one for a while because I have way too many other things on my agenda that are calling to me, like strongly calling to me. Okay, I'm going to move this pile over this way a little so I'm not reaching quite so far back. Okay. This next one, again, most of this stuff came off of the Dstash site, off of Facebook. I'm getting more picky. I used to be so afraid that I was going to lose it, you know? It's like, you gotta quick put your name in, and didn't always even have time to think about, did you really want that one or not? So I'm starting to get a little bit more selective in what I purchase off of there. But I thought this was beautiful. This is by Stacy Nash, and it's the Merry Christmas Pin Keep. I think that's gorgeous. And she even sent some DMC floss with it. Is this DMC? Yep. It's 221, but she sent me a skein of 221 to go with that. I'm sure that'll be plenty to stitch that little guy. So that one could be a real quick stitch for Christmas this year. And then I purchased this Primitive Gatherings. Had this pattern for a needle thread book, for a scissors carrier, and what else is on here? Needle book with pocket, scissors holder. I'm not sure what this other thing is, but it's the pattern to make all those things, which is right up our alley, right? And I'm starting to get very drawn to felt things too, although I'm resisting hard. I haven't purchased any felt yet, but I'm getting pulled. Doesn't help that my friends are getting pulled also, and they're dragging me with them. And then it also came with all of this, a whole little wool bundle Look at my wool bundle. I can't tell you how many times I've had something like this in my cart and then gone, nah, you don't need that. So now I have it, a whole little wool bundle. Super excited to have those. Wool or is it felt? Feels like wool. I think this is wool. So anyway, those two came together. And then I purchased, I have really fallen in love with Hello from Liz Matthews lately. I love her as a person. She's just the kindest, sweetest, fun. I just love her. I love watching her videos and just love her, the way she challenges herself as well. She likes to stitch things like I do, some of the old stuff that has backstitching and are kind of the old fashion patterns, they call them. But I still am drawn to some of those, and so is she. So it's always, it always makes me feel a lot better to know that somebody who's a designer is also still drawn to some of that stuff. So I purchased this Vanity Sampler from her. I think this is enormous. And it would be my true first sampler that I've really, like a reproduction-ish type sampler that I've ever done. But I think it's so pretty. And she's done some other ones too that I really love, but I loved the butterflies in here. I loved the little tree vignettes up top. I just thought everything about this one was so pretty. So excited to start that one sometime. It also came with thread drop tags. Not sure what those are. Customize these tags to create your perfect thread storage. They're unpunched, but they're tags. They're unpunched. And then also came with a few cards in the same pattern. This way. I don't think there is a right or a wrong. Oh yeah, there's the butterfly this way. So just a couple of little note cards that you could send somebody a sweet little note. That just doesn't happen very often anymore, does it? That people actually drop you a handwritten note in the mail. Just hardly get those anymore. So that was one. This one I was drawn to because I have a Dutch heritage, a Dutch background. And this reminded me a little bit of Blue Delft. It's by Sue Hillis Designs, and it's called A Study in Blue. And joy is my word. I use joy everywhere in my house. And it's a reminder for me to choose joy. And that you can still have joy, even after going through something difficult. And so joy is my word. So when I see things that have the word joy in them, I'm very, very drawn to them. So these are all done in little drums. I don't know that I would do that. Drums truly are a challenge. But I loved the blue, the way they looked kind of like Blue Delft, like I said. I thought those were really, really pretty. So that was another one I purchased. And I'm drawn to these Santas. I don't know why. I never used to be drawn to Santas. But this one was done in white. And I can honestly say I haven't seen very many white Santas. This one is by Sandra Sullivan. It just says designs that reflect our American heritage. Simply Santa. Called, Homespun Elegance. There it is. Homespun Elegance Cinnamon Stick Santa. You guys have probably seen it before, but I thought it was cool. I love the white Santa. And of course a cardinal. I love a cardinal. And even kind of this prim tree. I thought that was so pretty. He might be a candidate for that 10 count clustering that I bought. I watched Nettie from Primrose Cottage. She did a pillow with a Prairie Schooler Santa, and she used number 5 pearl cotton. Instead of using like 6 strands of DMC, she said the pearl cotton gave it a much more textured look than what DMC would. Plus then you've only got one thread. It's like 1/1 instead of trying to stitch 6 over 2 or whatever, however you do that. I don't know, I haven't worked with cluster nor with a 10 count before, but I think it's easier to work with as well. So if I do this one, I think I would probably look into getting some Pro Cotton, some number 5 Pro Cotton. I'm just looking to see if it tells me how many colors I would need to buy. It's not bad, like 10. So I've never bought that before. So I have no idea what the price point is on that, but I'll keep you posted. I'll let you guys know what I find out. Then I bought a couple of Bent Creek patterns. Love Bent Creek, just love, love, love almost everything they do. This one is the snowman. What's it called? Winter Row. And I have this spot above my sliding glass doors that will be a perfect spot for me to change out and do these row patterns that I have from Bent Creek. So I have this one, I have their tree one. I can't remember what it's called either, but I do have that one. And I also bought another one this week that's stars. This one is called the Swirly Sampler. And it even came with the little charm that's hanging and dangling from the middle of it. But I thought that could be so fun for 4th of July. Or maybe Christmas too. It's got swirls and stuff in it and stars. It might work for both. Depends what colors I choose. But here's the little charm that they sent along with it. So I was excited to see that that came along with it. And then I found a carriage house sampling pattern called My Hometown. And I love it, but it does say Manchester. I'm not even sure where Manchester is, but I love the pattern. I thought the colors were really bright, not bright, vibrant. They were really, I loved the contrast with some of the dark with the lighter. And I liked that tree an awful lot, all the different houses. I thought that was really, really cool. So no plans for that one in the immediate future, but I thought that was really, really cool. And then previously you guys had seen me show the swans that I had purchased from A Year in the Woods by Cottage Garden. Mama Loves You BG had put the 3 winter ones together, and I showed you guys a picture of that. Well, on the Dstash site, I was able to pick up the other 2 winter ones. I got both the reindeer and the fox. So I will be able to replicate that same type of a look that she did. Again, I don't have any immediate plans to do those, but I'm happy to have those. I really like both of those. I have a thing for foxes as well. I think my husband loved foxes too. He was always intrigued by them. And he loved dogs. Maybe that's why he liked wolves and he liked foxes, but I think it comes kind of from his love for dogs. So maybe that's influencing me why I like foxes so much, but I'm excited to do those. I really love everything that I buy, you guys. I really do. It's not like I just go out crazy and buy whatever. I mean, I do really like almost everything that I get. And this next one, I can blame this one on the Calculated Stitcher, Jennifer. I watched her Flosstube a week or 2 back, and I love her. I love everything that she stitches. I don't know how she gets so much done, or if she's just got big projects going all the time and just, I don't know. But she did Anniversaries of the Heart, which have been around, I think, for 6-7 years, maybe longer. And it's a series of 12 patterns. And I'll insert a picture here of what it looks like. There's multiple ways you can do it, but I'll choose one and I'll put a picture of what they look like together. But somebody on the Stash unloading site had all 12 of them for sale. And basically what you can do is you personalize these. You put in, for one particular pattern, it may remind you of your wedding. So you would put the date of your wedding, maybe your initials. You could put anything that reminded you of your wedding. Another one might remind you of your parents or of your grandparents or of your children. But there's ways to personalize this one and kind of make it a history, like make it a family tree type thing. That's what really drew me to this, was the idea of putting my family's history into stitching. And so love this. I love, 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 love this. And this is Jennifer, the Calculated Stitcher's Vault. Anyway, I love it. I can't wait to start that one, but I have a lot on my plate right now. I'm starting to feel a smidge overwhelmed with all my whips. I need to sit down and figure out how many I really have, because I've kind of lost track a little bit of what I've actually got going. And I think once I organize them, maybe put them in a graph or something on an Excel spreadsheet or something, maybe I'll feel better about starting something new. Right now I'm feeling like I've got a lot going on. Okay, and then just a last couple little ones here from the Dstash site. Somebody was selling a bunch of Plum Street Sampler stuff, and I don't really have a lot of hers. So I picked up a bunch of the ones that they had. Let me get rid of the plastic sheets and we'll just show them quickly to you. I got the Salt Box Stitcher, or Salt Box, Winter Salt Boxes. I've always admired those. I thought this one would go really well with my pink house that I bought that shows kind of a winter scene. So maybe I can make a little pillow out of that one and set it up next to that picture or something on a shelf or in a dough bowl. Then I got the Hello Winter, Hello Spring, and Hello Fall. They're all similar and yet different. Here's Hello Winter. Here's Hello Spring. Here's Hello Fall. And then I got one more that's Home for Christmas, and this one's more square again, but a house, imagine that. But I thought that was beautiful. I loved the quilt look on the top and bottom border. Thought that was beautiful. So I got those. And then I went to a brand new store. I think Kathy Haberman has mentioned it before. She lives in Sioux City, Iowa, which is quite close to me. I can't say that, quite close. Sioux City is only about 40 miles away, something like that. And the closest LNS that she has referenced before is called Shanty Stitchers. Shanty Stitching, I'll look it up and I'll link it. But they have a lot of stuff. I got to make my very first visit there about 2 weeks ago with my mom. We were out and about doing some things, and so I didn't have a lot of time to browse, but they have fabric and they have lots and lots of patterns. I could have spent a day just like looking through all their patterns. They have one smaller room, but it's packed full of model stitching, and so it really does make a huge difference when you see something stitched up. It makes a huge difference. And so I picked up a few things that they had done. This one, Home of the Needleworker, they had done on a model stitch. And actually, Cizuk, Carolyn, is it Carolyn from Cizuk Stitching, is doing this one as a sell. And she said I could gladly join in. However, back to feeling overwhelmed and not wanting to start anything else just yet. But maybe I will. Maybe I still will. So this one came from them. You know, I wonder if their name is on the back of this. Nope, not on that one. Nope, not on that one. Is it on the back of this one? Nope, they don't have their name on any of the stuff that I bought. But I'm pretty sure they're called Shanty Stitchers or something like that. But I'll find a link to their store and I'll post that in the description box below. I've always wanted this one, the 4th of July. I missed out on it. It was always sold out everywhere this summer when I wanted it. So while I was there, I thought I'm just gonna grab that one and save myself on the shipping, right? That store is only 36 miles away from here. I could be in big trouble. I told him the next time that I go, I'll do a little video of it so I can share it with you guys and show you what it looks like. It's not a huge store, but it's cool. It's really cool. And then I saw this one that was a model that was stitched up, and it was a company I hadn't really heard of before. It's called Imaginating, and I guess they've been around for a while. I was looking for a, oh, my legs are cramping. I was looking for a fall piece. I really struggled with trying to figure out what I wanted to stitch this fall. And so this was my in-between searching, trying to figure it out, but this would be beautiful above my sliding glass doors too. That lead out to my patio. This one is called Harvest Happiness. And it's kind of an older fashioned style with lots of back stitching. If you can see all the back stitching that's needed in that one. I can't really see what I'm showing you. Am I going all the way across? Yep, there I am. So that one's narrow. That one is 282 by 42 high. So it's long. And who did I see that actually had that stitched recently? Was it Brenda, the handwork maniac? I saw it stitched by somebody recently. And I love that when I see that there's another designer out there, or another floss tuber out there that has stitched it. Because I love to see what other people do with it too and how they finish it and that kind of thing. The last thing that I purchased was a set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They're by Little House Needleworks. I hadn't seen these done before. They're just all little houses with the ABCs on them. So ABC, DE, FGH, those cute little IJK. Look at those little sheep in there. J, no, JK. Huh, is that a J? L, I'm looking at it backwards. LMN, OPQ, RST. They're just all homes with little scenes in front of them. UVW and XYZ. And they had it, of course, sample model stitched as well and finished all on one piece of fabric. And when I saw that, I just went, ooh, I have not seen that before. I've seen Little House Needleworks do lots of different things like Fall on the Farm or Farmhouse or Hometown. Do they do Hometown too? I've seen them do a lot of different ones, but I'd never seen anything with just these houses and kind of simple, but still very quaint feeling. And so I decided I wanted to give that a try. So, oh, I forgot one. I have one more. I've been looking at this one for a long time, and this was also on the Dstash site. This one is by Brenda Gervais, Forget Me Not. And this was one that initially I was drawn to. I wanted to put it in a pillow somewhere in a dough bowl that I could keep out year round as a reminder of my hubby. Some of the other things that I've purchased, I don't know if I would leave them out year round, but this one I think I could. When he passed away, the ALS Association in Omaha sent me a little ornament, a little forget-me-not flower ornament, and I keep that hanging. You can kind of see I've got a few things hanging off of my mantle up there. One of them is a dove with my dad's name, who passed away in '97. One of them is a little forget-me-not. It's supposed to be probably an ornament. I don't know, but it's made out of like ceramic or porcelain or something. And then the last one came in a flower bouquet that some friends of mine sent me after my husband died, and it just says choose joy. Like I said, I have joy, choose joy, joy all over my house. So so this one came from the Dstash site, and so it was actually started. And so I don't really know what the fabric is. It's beautiful, but she has a little start down here at the bottom, just doing the little what would you call that, banner maybe, where the forget-me-not goes. And then she also sent me the floss that she was using in it, which is a combination. It looks like we've got Weeks Dye Works. There's a putty and a sage, and then there's Classic Colorworks eggshell. And then what is this? Faded Rust Dark, but it doesn't really say what company it's with. But anyway, these are the colors that came with it. So I think they're beautiful. So that one is definitely going to be getting stitched soon, really soon. And I don't know if I'll pull hers out. Part of me wants to go back in and pull it out just because I want to be the one that stitches the whole thing. I'm kind of weird that way. You guys like that too? So anyway, and then the last thing that I think I'm gonna tackle a quilt. I have fabric. I've been collecting fabric for a while, and I was watching a trunk show by, I think it was Corey Yoder. Was it by Corey Yoder? Nope. It was a recent trunk show that Fat Quarters Shop did. If I can find it, I'll link the YouTube video, but I will link the patterns that I purchased. So I got this one, which is called, oh, it was by Camille Roscali. She used to be Bonnie and Camille, and now she's on her own, and she's under Camille Roscali. And she had done this Thimble Blossoms Patchwork Sky. And I love it. I love all the little tiny blocks and the stars in the middle. And I love the colorway that she chose. And I might have to do a little finagling to be able to get mine to look sort of like that. But it will definitely be a summer quilt, something that I put out in the spring and then keep out for the summer and then probably put it away when winter comes. But I love that. So I bought that one. And then I also bought, I've been looking at this one for a little while. Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch and Nicole Spohr both did this. It's a table runner, and it's designed by Lori Holt, and it's called Seasonal Stitchy Stars. And there's one for each season: winter, spring, summer, and fall. And so here's the different mock-up of the 4 different patterns. I actually think it's the same pattern, just done in 4 different colorways. And then here's an actual picture of them completed. And I just really loved those two, although I think Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch said it was not for beginners. So, of course, I'm going to try that. Because why not, right? Life is too short. So anyway, that's the last of it, you guys. I think I have touched on everything except for my update. I was going to tell you guys what's been going on with me a little bit, and I was going to do that way in the beginning. Well, now if anybody wants to tune out at this point, they can. I've been busy going to doctors for my arm. Not very good news. My radial head and my elbow area is disintegrating. It's only got about half of it left. At least that's the way it looks on the CT scan that they recently did. They want to do an MRI yet because they want to determine if my inside ligament in my elbow was damaged. They feel like there's too much movement there. So there's a chance that that was damaged, and that will really determine how they proceed. But I'm probably looking at more surgery. My dog's getting frisky, aren't ya? So I have another appointment next week to do an MRI. Ugh, I'm terrified. I've never had an MRI. It'll be fine. It's gonna be fine. I gotta go to my happy place, right? I'll just cross-stitch something in my mind. So I have to have that done next week, and then from there we'll know what the next step is going to be, but I suspect it's gonna be some kind of surgery. They talked about putting in a new radial head. They talked about cutting part of the bone off so that I don't have that one did not make sense to me, but to relieve the aggravation that's going on, that's damaging that whole area. But if that tendon on the inside of my arm is damaged or not repairable, I don't think either of those are an option. And then hopefully at the same time, they'll take out the plate that's in my arm, because I hate that plate. I can feel it. It's uncomfortable. If I lean on that arm, it's painful because it's just like right next to the surface. So that would be one big blessing, is that I can take that plate out if we have to do surgery. So actually kind of looking forward to that. And then I have a couple giveaways that I left my iPad over there, which has I took snapshots of the winners. So let me go grab that a minute. I'm going to stop just for a second while I grab that, and then we'll go over the giveaways, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, I had 3 patterns that I wanted to give away last time as a celebration for hitting 100K, which is still so exciting to me. I just appreciate each and every one of your comments. It's so fun to get to know you guys. And I would love, love, love if you're stitching something to tag me. I'm on Instagram, also at b.a.blessingstitcher. I'm also on Facebook. That one is b.a.blessing22, I think. But I'll put links in here. But if you guys would tag me in the stuff that you're doing, oh, I would just love to see what you're doing. Or you can even send me an email at b.a.blessingstitcher.com or at gmail.com. I would love to see your progress. I love interacting with all of you, and I would even love to hear about what's going on in your lives, your families. If there are prayer requests, I would love to hear prayer requests. Yeah, I love interacting with all of you and getting to know you better. So I encourage you to do that. I just would love it so, so much. And keep commenting, because I really do love reading each and every comment that you guys. I have not yet had anybody say anything negative. And I was kind of prepared for it, because they say that when you put yourself out there, you have to have a little bit of a thick skin, because people can sometimes be really mean. And I haven't seen it yet, and I hope that I don't. But I'm sure the longer I do it, there'll be an ugly comment somewhere. But I'm amazed at this community yet. I mean, nothing but love and support from all of you guys. You've been amazing and great. So back to the winners. The first one that I was giving away was Santa Stops Here by Brenda Gervais. And the winner on that one was Pat Hansen. Pat Hansen. And I will put an image up here of her comment. And Pat, if you are watching, if you would just send me an email with your address, I will go ahead and get that shipped out to you as soon as I can. And then the second one that we gave away was Season Samplers and Timepieces. It was several of them all in one. And this one goes to Stitching Granny of 18. Stitching Granny of 18. And I'll put your comment up here as well. If that's you, please drop me an email. I'll put the link in my description with your name and address, and I'll get that sent out to you too, just as quick as I can, as soon as I get your information. And then the last one was this duplicate that I bought. It's by Moira Blackburn, and it was called A Time for, what was it called? It doesn't actually say it on the front here. Time and Season Sampler. I had to think about that one, because I remember I have a hard time. I always want to call it A Time for All Seasons. But this is just a beautiful, beautiful sampler. And this one goes to Daleen Carpenter. Daleen Carpenter. And same for you, Daleen. I'll put a comment up here, your comment, so you can see if that was you. And if you want to just drop me an email with your name and address, and I will get that one sent out to you as well. Okay, I think that's it, you guys. I think that's everything that I wanted to share. The last thing I wanted to start doing, I always say, try to be the reason that someone smiles today. And I thought I would start giving little examples, just some little tiny things that you can do to maybe bring a smile to somebody's face. And so this week, this video's idea is, why don't you hold the door for somebody? as they're entering or leaving, just go out of your way to hold the door for 1 or 2 people as they're leaving. So I'm going to try to give little ideas each week of just different things that you might be able to do, and that I hope I can inspire you to do something that would show a kindness to somebody, do a random act of kindness. So I think that's all I've got for you guys this week. I love you all. I enjoy my videos so much and my time that I spend with you, and I hope that you enjoy it as well, and I hope that I can bring a smile to your face each time, and I can inspire or enable you to do some other projects. Again, I'd love it if you would share some of your stuff with me. So I'll put all my links for my contact information. If you have a question, I will do my best to answer anything that comes up. I'll try to find a link for something if you have a question on something that I didn't share. So I'll be happy to do that. So I hope you have a wonderful couple of weeks. I'll try to be back again in a couple weeks again and let you know how my stitching my sampler September stitching is going. So we will see you all then, and you guys take care, continue to stay happy, and keep stitching. Goodbye.